Hello people of the earth, my name is Ation Mitihepi, and if you haven't known already, the game Five Nights at Freddy's has been blowing up YouTube and pretty much all of the internet. Well, I may be exaggerating a little bit, but if you don't know what it is, it's basically a game where you try to survive 5 nights. 5 nights at this place called Freddy's, in which the mascots there, or the animatronics, they try to kill you. Long story short, you can win it. But I thought to myself, with the hype of the game, or at least when it was still popular, I thought to myself, I wonder if there's a fan fiction for it, because we all know that with the internet, so many fantasies are conjured up in word. And yes, I am a sick kind of guy, because I was thinking if there was a fan fiction, even though we've seen so many nasty ones. If you want a few examples, check in the description below for Smosh Games, Smosh, and PewDiePie when they read out fan fiction based on them and interactions with other YouTubers. Oh, also Nihiga as well. Some are quite pleasant and others are downright disturbing. But yeah, I thought to myself, is there a fan fiction for Five Nights at Freddy's? Also at the same time, I wanted to find the most disturbing, the most explicit one. Yes, that makes me more of a weirdo and a sicko plus 5. But we all know the internet, we know it's messed up in its own ways, and I thought, if I'm messed up, what's wrong with that? Actually, there's so much wrong with that. So I went to Google and searched up Five Nights at Freddy's creepypasta fanfic. Because creepypasta, if you haven't known already, has made some weird ass crap. But if you don't know who they are, description below, check them out on YouTube if you want to be mentally scarred. Luckily I haven't. I tried to look for a few and had a quick read through them, and some of them were ish. Like, they're not as disturbing or explicit as I hoped they would. Yeah, but then I came across this one and I haven't read it thoroughly, and I thought, what am I gonna lose? If it's terrible and lame, at least it'll give a possibility of part 2. And if it was mentally scarring and disturbing, at least I didn't have to do any more. So I looked at one, I haven't read it thoroughly. I've just seen the title of it, which is called Birthday at Freddy's. So I found this on the website www.chillingtalesfordarknights.com. I'm not too sure what it's like as a website. If you guys have been on it, let me know in the comments below. Tell me its reputation, is it a good site, is it an okay site? Yeah, this is in no way endorsing anything, whether it be the website, the game Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm also not promoting you guys to go out there and create some disturbing Five Nights at Freddy's, even though part of me really wants to read it and entertain you guys as I mortify myself with the explicit details that I already know are developing in your fresh little minds. But yeah, I condone you not to do it. I hope condone is the right word for me to use in this case. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'll be putting the words, the story, down at the bottom screen so you can follow along and hopefully pick up the mistakes I make. Parents are always finding new ways to entertain or enrich their kids. In fact, the earliest years are the most important in a child's life when it comes to developing their young mind. This was no different for me. My mom would always take me to the arcades, complete with all sorts of top-of-the-line games. Or the parks, with the jungle gyms that were always scolding hot from being in the sun all day. There weren't too many options to choose from, but for what they were, those were what made up my fondest childhood memories. As a treat for my 7th birthday, my mom took me to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. It was supposed to be a fun little place, from what I can remember. A magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life, or something like that. It looked really promising, to be honest with you, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited about going there. The pizza was what you'd expect, lazily put together. It didn't taste quite right. Didn't quite taste right. But you didn't go for the food. You went to see Freddy Fazbear and his gang of colorful friends, Bonnie the Bunny and Chica the Chick. There was Foxy too. He lived in the Pirate Cove. Thinking back on it now, the animatronics were pretty good for the time. They had full body movements when singing on stage, and even Foxy moved around quite a bit on his little pirate ship. In fact, I remember that after a few songs, Freddy and fans would come off the stage and walk around, interacting with the kids. They would walk up to the kids and say things like, "How's the pizza? Good, I bet." Or, "Are you having fun? I know I am." I remember that Foxy always said, "It's me, I'm gonna get ya." That was cute. To keep the kids entertained, there would be little games they played, like Follow the Freddy, which was just follow the leader, or Foxy's Treasure Hunt, where kids would be given small trinkets, and Foxy would chase after them, like a game tag. I remember I had finished my slice of pizza, and asked if I could play the treasure hunt game with Foxy. My mom said it was okay, so I got up, and one of the workers gave me a tiny palm-sized treasure chest. I was actually very excited. Foxy was my favorite. Me and about 6 other kids were given small treasures, and that's when Foxy jumped off the pirate cove. He yelled, "It's me, I'm gonna get ya!" And that's when we all scrambled. It was great fun. I looked over my shoulder and saw Foxy chasing around the other kids, and at one point, he even almost got me. Boy, Foxy was fast. I didn't know why at the time, but while I was in the middle of playing the treasure hunt game, my mom lifted me abruptly and carried me swiftly towards the exit. She said things like, "We've got to go right now," and "We never should have come here." I'd never heard such urgency in her voice before. I thought that maybe it was because some kids started crying when Foxy caught them. They had screamed really loud and started sobbing. I remember that a bunch of parents rushed over. There were all sorts of commotion and noise, but I was too busy having fun to notice that anything was wrong. But now that I think of it, I do remember that as my mom carried me through the exit, I saw Foxy standing above the body of a kid he had caught. He was staring right at me, with crimson liquid dripping from his sharp teeth. And that's the end of that. My thoughts, honestly, I thought things were a bit too positive at the beginning, and I saw that just at the end, it started turning sinister. I have a feeling that this is kind of a fan fiction based on the Bite of 87, which is something which is mentioned in the game. I haven't played the game, just to warn you guys, so I don't know what it's like, but I've seen many other YouTubers play it. See, I mean, I thought it was alright, structure-wise and following the way. I thought it was pretty good, but it wasn't as disturbing as I hoped it would be. Which means, that means I gotta go searching again, look for a second, which will mentally scar me and follow me throughout the rest of my life until I find something equally or more horribly painful. Maybe the author, who was anonymous, maybe the author could write about how he comes back to the place, because if this was based on when the Bite of 87 occurred, maybe we could follow him when he comes back and tries to journey, see what exactly happened. And the only way he could do that is through getting the job, as the security guard. But yeah, those are my opinions. Can't believe I'm asking this, but are there more diabolical fanfics of the Five Nights at Freddy's that you want me to check out? Let me know in the description below, the comments below. Also, let me know what you guys want me to do, watch, see, talk about, as long as it's legal and moral. Other than that, hope you enjoyed this video. Like I mentioned before, please let this not be motivation for you to create a disturbing, explicit fanfiction. And I do support creative writing and expressing your ideas and all that. Just don't make a fanfiction about Five Nights at Freddy's just for me, or for any YouTuber in fact. And before I go, if you're asking yourself why I made this video, well, if I was gonna mentally scar myself, let's do it. It's our way of bonding. We can both emotionally scar ourselves and cause us to have nightmares about the animatronics at a closed kids party place, and share the memories, you know, because that's what we love doing, you know, share memories, experience mentally deteriorating events together, because that's what makes us humans. Don't know if that was a great way to end it off. No, probably not. That was not the best way to end it. Hope you see you guys later, and I'm not gonna do what I did last time because that was a fail.